downloaded, and so I'm ordering one off Amazon, but that's not helpful for today.
Well,
I got mine right here.
I'm sure we can grab you a PDF.
It's all earmarked with my little sections for my character.
Well, this will be fun.
Yeah.
You guys, for those of you without dice, you will need a dice roller. So.
Yep.
I have my new favorite website for dice rolling. It's the one that's been the best to me through all of this. Okay, I'm gonna order one. Oh, I should have ordered it this morning. It says it's gonna be here by 5 p.m. I probably could have gotten it in time for the game.
It just reminds me I need to order Whole Foods. Thank you for reminding me.
You are so welcome.
Like 2 steps behind. I forgot we had that bright blue vodka.
Get your shit together, Alicia.
No, Caleb's vodka distracted me.
I'm sorry.
Because that makes sense. That totally makes sense.
Get it?
So I
My
shared
friend
the
asked,
link, and it's this thumbnail is just Meg looking very intently at the screen.
Great.
what's the YouTube? Can you send me the YouTube link that I need to monitor during this?
I'm in
You
there.
don't have to do much, just so you know.
I know, but that's.
What
I need to turn the volume down on that.
I have TikTok songs just stuck in my head.
All right. I have an exception. I don't understand. It's telling me that the live stream's not encrypted. I'm like, okay.
No one cares. It's fine.
I'm blasting this out for the world. Not.
So
We've got a few minutes till it officially starts. It's a pain in the butt to. It's 1:57, 12:50.
Oh. I see. Thank you.
I'm very excited,
I'm glad that you're
and
excited.
an excited Alicia makes no sense.
All right, so I'm on D&D Beyond. I'm picking Tiefling, and then racial traits. Pick Dark Vision, Hellish Resistance, or Infernal Legacy.
Might as well wait because Caleb will go through a lot of this stuff with you.
Right.
I didn't know if we were gonna do this or if we were supposed to have already done this.
No. We're
gonna be
doing
creating-
most of this by scratch because
Okay.
it'll be a fun way to introduce your characters and stuff. And
Yeah.
be like, I want to play this. Then we can talk about how we actually break it down and why we did these things.
Alexa,
Great.
I'm on a phone call.
Telephone calls
Yep,
are
Alexa.
transferable trans-
I have a phone call.
Because there's not a pixie race in D&D. But I don't know why that's the case, because pixies are loved by everyone.
Fair.
So, yeah, we're going to talk about the thought process behind why I'm grabbing Tiefling for them,
Okay,
and so forth and so forth. But,
sounds good. You can walk me through step by step creating my character.
right. On
Oh,
D&D
and I-
Beyond, I'm not sure how that's going to work, because I don't use that, but it'll be fine.
It's okay. I will ask the questions and you can just tell me. And then I downloaded a new version of the PDF character sheet so I can fill that in. Actually, I should just open that up on my iPad. So while we're doing this, I can just write in this stuff.
So it is now, well, we'll start a minute early. Who's going to care?
No one.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, we've been late for like the
All of
last
them.
8 weeks, so.
yeah, we're kind of awful.
Change the trend.
So from last session, you all died because
What happened? My parents knocked at the door. That's the last thing I remember. And then that's it. Did something.
Yeah. So the very last
Quick
thing John
recap.
did before yeeting the mayor, he was like, you know what? I don't like this mayor person. She invited us into her creepy basement where there was a voice talking in the well, and this creature in the well offered the world if you just kill the mayor for him. And so you did. You shoved her down the well, which freed the dark entity there who rose out of the well and ate all of you. So
Happens.
don't listen to dark, scary voices in a well. Moral of the
Now
story.
we know.
Yeah, I mean, anyway, we got to Spartan kick the mayor down the well. That's fine.
So we accomplished the goal of the first campaign, which was to kill the bear.
Yay!
Done. That bitch is dead.
Great. So realizing the type of players I have.
Michael says, we death.
Yeah, it was abrupt and painful.
One sec. John, we really need to figure out the OBS and piping in the chats with Zoom.
Yeah, we can do that. I'll go back to the office for next week and I'll set that up. No problem.
All right. So realizing the kind of players I have, with Meg not being the whole pleasant bartender person that she wanted to play, she often reached out and grabbed things by the head and tried to burn its face off. John not being the nice, wise priest who just used the refinement of life to distill glory into the world, just wanted to kill the mayor.
What are you talking about?
And Pippin,
Pippin.
who was properly the drug-addled creature that it was. So you
Pippin
actually-
was too
yeah.
pure for this world. She was a pure cinnamon
Nice for
roll.
everyone. Yep.
So
Michael also added, he totally expected a different mythos coming out of the well. And Walter Spall 3 says hi.
oh, hi,
Hi,
Walt.
Walt.
He's in my other game.
Yes, the other campaign now feels.
Yeah, they're watching this campaign for the bonus lore. Because why not?
Because they're
Why not?
sick.
We're very entertaining. We're very excited to have you all.
So, this next campaign is not going to be taking place in a nice, pleasant village in the middle of nowhere, dealing with the monsters of the world. I'm going to be placing you in a city where you guys can run rampant without too much issues.
Perfect.
This next campaign will be northwest on a completely different island on the Runner's Rock Island. You're in the city called the Barrows. This city is carved from a giant, colossal sea stack. It's monstrous. This vertical city was founded 20 years ago when Torogen, the Pirate King, had a palace made at the crown of the pillar. He wasn't happy simply living alone in his palace, so he hollowed out the sea stack and basically invited anyone that wanted to come to join him in there. He hired painters, musicians, gamblers, the whole works to fill it and use them to lure in more and more people and their curiosities. It became a town of grandeur, pleasure, and wealth. People from all over the eastern seas travel here to spend their coin in its lavish gambling halls and exotic markets. There is also a myriad of different performances available in order to accommodate the patrons of any taste. So Anu is the local god of the Barrows, another snake goddess who has lived on the island for centuries. When Torogen first landed on the island, it was So Anu who convinced him that he would be bored out of his mind if he just lived in his castle alone. She presently resides in her own casino, and she wanders around the Barrows like she is the personality of the city itself. She is decked out in lavish golds and linens, lives lavishly. And so this mess hall of a place is filled with anyone and anything. It is the most metropolitan or cosmopolitan of the different cities in the region. So it would be perfectly reasonable to run across a random fairy, an orc, an elf, anything in the world can show up here looking for some information that they can only buy here, looking for some resources. This is the land of possibility. If you have the will, the guts, the glory, it can be accomplished here because there's no real government. basically, if you can get away with it, you can. This has created numerous different sects of like organizations and inner politics within the Barrows. But that's basically, if you're in their territory, you have to follow their general rules. But each individual person is responsible for their own merits. So, with that in mind, maybe you guys can flesh out your backstories a little bit and whatnot. And I guess you guys can initially talk about what kind of character you guys wanted to play this next story arc in this city. Meg, I know that you've been brainstorming your character.
Yes. Do you want me just to like go into it? Or...
Yeah, just explain what you intend to create.
After talking with Caleb about the type of player that would make the most sense for how I played the last one, I decided I wanted to play a barbarian and be able to be filled with rage. But at the same time, since we were going silly, I tried to figure out what I could put against that to make it as funny as possible. So I picked that I would be a pixie. And when reading about the barbarians, the one that caught my eye was the totem warrior and how they have different animals to be their spirit animals. And they're mostly bears or eagles or wolves. And I decided I wanted mine to be a honey badger. So I am I don't actually know the right order to say that, like a totem warrior pixie barbarian. Is there like a right?
That works great.
And then did you want me to tell the backstory or just like that character?
That's a good starting point for now. There's lots of reasons why you would come to the Barrows.
Michael said that's awesome. Yeah, Michael.
Pixie barbarians. You have a rich history, apparently.
Oh, and my name is Thistle.
Oh, Thistle. That's fun. John, tell us a little bit of what you're interested in playing.
So my character is a high elf rogue assassin. His name is Grigor Fancepants.
Great.
So he was he's 101 years old. He is about 6 feet tall, about 150 pounds. He was a hero in his community. He used to ward off all the evil. And the small children in the village started calling him Mr. Fancy Pants, which it's not, it's Fancepants. And he got really upset by it, and they kept doing it and bullying him. So he eventually slaughtered all the children in the village and was cast away. So now he is a champion for bullying and sticks up for people who are bullied.
Wow. And so in the Barrows, this weird community where it's dog eat dog, you feel sorry for the people who have lost everything. And so you try to create this world of security within the Barrows for them. And that could be a fun story to play. I like that. You.
So I am playing a half orc, half elf who is about 75 years old, but turns out he's going to be long lived. He was raised by his half brother, who is a full elf and is a ranger of the primal companion variety. So very in tune with nature and also very ostentatious and over the top. His name is Sempai.
Sempai.
And he does a lot of this.
As you can tell, this is going to be a very differently flavored game. So, now let's start off by rolling ability scores. So you guys are going to need to roll 4d6, drop the lowest of those 4 dice, and you're going to add those numbers together 6 times.
46, drop the lowest?
Yes. So
what do you mean by 46? Like 2 20s and a d6?
4 individual d6s.
Okay.
I'm going to just keep my note here.
And then what did you say? Drop the lowest?
Yes. So you roll it 4 times. The lowest of those rolls you remove.
Okay.
And then you add the rest together.
Okay.
And for those of you who are watching, this is about as complicated as the math gets in D&D.
I rolled 3 6s on that one.
Good for you.
Hi, Kim.
Do we tell you the total or where are we putting them? Where did you say to put that?
Tell me the total, but you should have like a scratch piece of paper or something. These are going to be your ability score. So just put your rolls somewhere. Let me
The
know when
rolls
you're
or
done rolling.
the rolls or the title or like the amount together?
Put the total amount together.
Sorry.
Da, 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 da.
So like I'm just writing it for me. I'm just
Yes.
writing it down here
It'll
like
be
this.
easier to show in this case. So
Okay.
she rolled 46, shot the lowest, wrote that first number down. Did it
Oh,
again.
I'm sorry. Okay, I thought we were just rolling the. Never mind. Okay,
So
So
I
we
you
do
do it
apologize.
6 times.
46
Oh.
6 times, right?
Yep.
got it.
You have 6 ability scores. Crap, love.
I'm rolling awesome.
Like on D&D Beyond, if you roll it, you could pick how many times you want to roll the dice.
That's awesome. That's what I'm using, the RGB Studios one.
No.
That one's not so hot.
All right.
It's fine. You have an 18 and 2 15s. You're fine.
I am going to murder someone.
Who's chatting you up?
It's location pictures for a client's landing page that I was supposed to have 3 days ago.
Ooh.
That's all. It's fine. For an email that went out 15 minutes ago, too. That's the other part of it. So
Yep.
what's done is done.
All right. So you're done rolling up your ability scores.
Yes.
You want to just read those numbers that you got?
I got a 13, an 18, a 14, 2 15s, and an 11.
So you're going to be fine.
And for a ranger, I need dex.
You do
And
need
wisdom.
dex and wisdom.
I did okay.
All right.
I got 3 15s, a 16, a 17, and a 12.
Yeah, you did great.
The 12 wasn't awesome.
You have okay.
Nothing's negative.
Nothing's negative, so you're going to be fine.
I
You
have-
are going to be the beefiest pixie in all of Pixieland.
I got 12, 16, 14, 14, 15, 12.
Okay, thank you for rolling the only reasonable array of stats, John. I appreciate that.
I'm here to help.
Ah,
What did you get? 12, 16?
14, 14, 15, 12.
It's still all above a negative.
yeah, but not an 18 and a 17 over here.
Sorry, we rolled well.
It happened.
Michael said Alicia's rolling really well. I guess that's really good. I have an 8 wisdom. And Walter said 46 at the highest. Oh, thank you, Walter. He was just typing it out for me, what I had to do. I appreciate that. Nice looking at.
All right.
Character's not the brightest.
We'll start with Meg's character because barbarians are incredibly easy statistic-wise.
Ooh,
You're going to want your biggest number to be dropped into strength. It's just how it is.
that's my 17.
Your next biggest number is the 16, right?
Yes.
You can either drop that into either dex, which makes you harder to hit,
Which makes sense
or
having wings.
con, because you're just a sturdy little gnat that just won't die. So
I'm going to do dexterity.
okay.
I like the idea that I'd be super nimble. Watch
You
me
got
go. Watch
3
me go.
15s. So I guess the easiest thing is, what do you want to be the worst at?
I think we should go with intelligence. Clearly, I had a lot of trouble just with rolling. So,
Okay, so And barbarians not being as well read as some of the other classes makes sense. Since intelligence isn't cleverness, it's more just general knowledge. And you lived in a mountain from what you were describing.
Yeah, we didn't get into that. Yeah, that's like what I told you. We didn't tell anyone else that. But with my backstory, I feel like I would only know about that society anyways.
Right.
Does that make sense?
So we'll do 12 for intelligence, and the other stats are the 15.
Nice.
So that's a good start. John, you're playing a elf assassin.
Correct.
So Dex is going to be your biggest stat.
Okay.
And how do you want your elf to be? Do you want him to be more charismatic and wily of tongue? Do you want him to be more rugged and has lived a little? Do you want him to be perceptive and realizing that someone's trying to con him? Or what are you thinking?
More sneaky and perceptive.
Okay. So after Dex, then maybe wisdom, so that you can be more aware of what's happening going on around you.
Okay.
Then after that, I would recommend con or intelligence, depending on if you want to be more knowledgeable or good in a scuff. And then you can distribute the rest however you would prefer, no problem.
Great.
Do you have any questions about them?
Nope, the other two would just be charisma and strength, right?
Right.
So
do you imagine yourself being charismatic at all or just offending people?
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, you do kill children.
The
So.
last two are 12s, so they're going to be the same anyway.
Okay. Now, Alicia.
am I the most complicated? I would just like to say I didn't go artificer because you told me it was too complicated.
Well, I didn't want to read it. You can go artificer if you want.
Well, not this time. Maybe next time John kills us all.
It's a
I still
possibility.
like the idea that every year we start a new campaign, like a new season and a whole new character. But the idea of doing a whole new character every year apparently sends Alicia's head in a tailspin. I
I
swear,
don't like change.
playing the same character for a year sounds like forever to me.
Not
So
as
it
you're
sounds
getting like new stuff and getting more into the character and like pulling them apart, putting them back together,
We'll develop.
growing with them.
I'm
We'll
a peacock.
develop
You gotta let me
things.
fly. Try new things.
You can be a new character every year. I want to stay with Sempai.
No, it's fine. Waltz, whenever he gets tired of characters, he just punches a god. It's fine.
Or tries to ride a pterodactyl.
Yeah, or decides to go, yeah, I'm not proficient at this, but I'm doing this.
It made a cool story though, Walt. I'll give you that.
Yes.
Michael
Thank
said
you.
we played our 120 for 3 years.
Yep. 1 to 20. They did a campaign from
And
level
Walt
1
says he doesn't try to die.
He doesn't try to die. Cato doesn't try to kill him. Potatoes, potatoes.
So, for a ranger, the biggest stat you're going to want is Dex,
So that's
easily.
where, wait, but do I get a racial bonus to Dex?
We'll deal with that soon. First things first, get the numbers where you want them to be.
I could be more.
We'll get there. We'll adjust things as we need to.
Okay.
First
so
things first, I want you to know
18
what
Dex.
numbers you want. Wisdom would be next because that's your spell casting, your ability to do rangery things and know which plants are good for you.
That's what I'm saying. If I get a racial bonus to Dex, and it makes more sense to put the 18 in Wisdom and take the advantage to.
That's what you want?
I don't know. Fine, keep going.
Okay. So after that, probably con, since you're a little bit more rugged. You are an orc after all. And what do you think about, since you're going for the charismatic orc, you wanted that to be higher?
Yes. So I'll put the 14 there,
Okay.
and then
Now it's intelligence and strength.
so I can do 13 intelligence and the 11 strength, since we've got strength.
Yeah, you have the barbarian who can just lift
That-
anything a good solid 12
And I just
inches.
really like the idea of this like ranger who just can't lift things.
That requires the little pixie to do all the heavy lifting. I love this. All right. Now that we've done basic stat arrays, Now we can do racial modifiers. Now, Meg is playing a pixie. Pixies are not a playable race in D&D normally. I don't care. So we're going to be using a winged tiefling variant as the base for her character.
So is that my race? What's my race and what's my class again? I'm sorry, which is which?
Race is pixie. Class is totem barbarian.
Okay.
Now, you get a +1 ability modifier to, traditionally in Tiefling, it's intelligence, but you can change that to whatever you would like. And you get a +2 bonus to charisma because you're a pixie.
Do I just change those numbers now, or do I make that as the proficiency bonus above?
You would change that now. So whatever
so that goes to a 17 in charisma. And then the +1 that's supposed to go to intelligence, you said I can put that anywhere?
Yes. And since you have a 17 strength, increasing that up to an 18 would probably be good.
That's what I was planning. I thought you were about to say it wouldn't do anything.
No, it would be great.
Okay.
Your age, you can be basically anything. Pixies don't die from old age. So you can be anything from 4 months old to 4,000 years old. Make your choice. So it just depends on how innocent you want to come across.
I feel like it'd be funnier with the barbarian rage if if I'm still really young and I haven't like totally gotten that under control and everything. So why don't we say like 22?
Okay. So you're going more the temper tantrum barbarian.
Yes.
I approve. Your size is small. Just because of the wings and everything, you take up about the same space as a halfling would. Or a
hop. Had to roll a D1000 to pick your age.
That's pretty good. I like that. Your speed?
Wait, Michael said the visual of the barbarian pixie who's the muscle is great. I'm curious the style of weaponry she'll be into, just to fill out the visual. I have an idea for weapons, but I don't know if Caleb's going to let me. But I have
an idea. We'll get there. And then you can just make me go, oh, sure, since that's going to be the reaction. So speed. Your walk speed is 10 feet because you're a pixie. Your fly speed is 30.
You're 20 feet.
So wait, I have a question, Meg.
Yes.
Is your badger bigger than you?
It's the
well, I mean, I don't actually.
It's the spirit of a badger in her.
I don't actually have a badger. I have Kevin, who I ride as.
But we don't know that yet.
Oh yeah, sorry. No, it's just the spirit of a badger. And from what I was reading, you can kind of like take on the mannerisms of it. So I Googled fun tips about badgers that you wouldn't necessarily know. And I learned that not only are they mean and aggressive, but they'll just go into other animals' dens and like make themselves at home and can be like super messy and stuff like that. So I feel that I might end up being like a very messy little creature who's just like very entitled to space and things.
So you're just the bad roommate of the group.
That's my thought. And then the only other thing I could think of is they actually like what's it called? They look a little bit like a skunk and they have the silver line. So I was thinking of a mohawk, and I turned out that they actually have the smelly gland. They just don't use it as much as skunks. So I was trying to decide if I wanted to like, I don't know how I could like make it smell or make my feet really stink or like make him have like really terrible morning breath when when she first wakes up or something. But silver mohawk, and we'll see what else happens along the way.
I am so excited. You do have dark vision. So under traits or class features,
which is
features and traits, the lower right-hand giant bubble. Dark vision goes there. You also have Fey resistance. You're resistant to poison damage, not fire. You burn just fine. And you speak Common and Sylvan.
Sylvan.
And for those of you wondering, this is basically just the tiefling with a few minor alterations. You can play anything in this game. No problem. All right. So now that we've done your race, that's basically it for that. John, you wanted to play a high elf debutante, high and mighty little twit.
Okay.
So let's go over to elf. AE.
Green elf is about to die.
Now, elves, all of them get +2 to dex. I assume you want to keep that, so there you go.
Yep.
Your age is anywhere between 100 to 750.
I'm 101.
Oh, right, you mentioned that.
Yep.
You also mentioned your height, your speed is 30, you have dark vision, you are proficient already in perception, so go ahead and fill in that bubble. And you have advantage on saving throws against being charmed, and you can't be put to sleep.
Because elves don't sleep, right?
Right.
You meditate.
Sleeping's overrated.
It is.
And being a high elf, your intelligence increases by 1, if that's what you wanted to do. That brings it up to a 16. What did you put in that?
15, it'll bring it up to.
It'll bring it up to a 15?
Yep.
Is there a different ability score that you can boost up to make it an even number?
Yeah, I could boost wisdom to 16.
I would allow you to do that if you would want.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. And being a high elf person, you're proficient in long swords, short bows, and long bows. So you'll have a slightly better range than most, but you'll still need to be close for all of your sneak attack nonsense.
Okay.
You also get a cantrip from the wizard spell list. Have you looked at any of those?
No, I can pull that from the back, right?
Yes. But before that, what kind of magic do you think would be beneficial to you?
As a rogue elf.
As a rogue elf person who wants to help the little guy, what kind of magic would you think would be beneficial for you? If you could use a spell just with that knowledge.
Something where I could sneak around or be hidden to get some kind of an advantage.
I have to admit, we can be a very sneaky party, guys.
Yeah.
You guys could be. With that, there's a couple different options. There's minor illusion, where you can create something that doesn't exist, like a barrel that you could hide inside. You could create like a false wall to hide behind, or make a door kind of disappear by creating a false front for it. There's also Mage Hand, which allows you to interact with things at a distance without actually needing to interact with it. What else do wizards get? Dancing light. Well, you have dark vision, you're fine. Friends, you can be like, hey, I like you. Hey, come over here real quick. And then you stab him in the face. Prestidigitation, you can force someone to crap their pants, or you can clean up your own pants if you crap in them. And yeah, any of those sound interesting?
Yeah, I'll do prestidigitation, because then I could do some kind of like sparks or something to like, or an odor or something to distract them, and then sneak and kill them.
Great. Prestidigitation is an amazing cantrip, so that works great. The languages you start off with are Common, Elvish, and one extra language of your choice. The most prevalent races in the Barrows are Orcs and Halflings.
I'll do Orc.
Okay. Yes, you'll be able to talk to Orc.
John, we have the
Good job.
same language again.
Nice.
All right, now you're a half-orc, half-elf.
Does that mean I get to pick and choose from the two?
Let's just jump over to half-elf, because I feel like that'll be the most forgiving and most
I mean, it
useful.
makes most sense because I was raised by elves.
Yeah.
So,
And
And I'm half elf.
humans, dragonborn gnomes, half elves. Okay, so your charisma would increase by 2.
by 2?
Yep.
Ah,
You're very charismatic.
takes it up to a 16, guys.
Yeah, with those elves, man. They teach you all those makeup tutorials. They made sure they have roses they can just throw around.
I have
for
the
dramatic
eye
effect.
sparkle.
The eye sparkles.
Yeah.
Yep, that kind of nonsense.
But why don't you guys just do something for Google verification?
Yeah, I need the verification code.
Sorry, go ahead.
And you get 2 other ability scores increased by 1.
So I can take my,
+1 in con and +1 in strength, for example.
well, I was going to take wisdom up by 1
Do that.
so that it goes to 18.
Okay.
Or not 8, it goes up to 16. And then I still think my strength being 11 is funny. Do I want a 14 intelligence or a 16 constitution?
I've met your group. I would go with con. Living longer is going to be challenging.
Am I still smart enough to be a bookworm though?
What's your intelligence?
13.
Yeah, that's fine. +1's better than other things. So you already have your age, which works fine. Your land speed is 30. You have dark vision.
Wait.
Speed is right there. You have dark vision. Character creation is often the most boring thing about this game, but it's informative and helps provide information not just for the DM, but to the other players to know what you guys are actually capable of doing as a group. Okay. You also have Fey Ancestry, so you have advantage on saving throws against being charmed, and magic can't put you to sleep as well. But you do need to sleep.
Advantage against charm.
Mm-hmm. Because you're charming enough as is.
Okay.
Your languages, Common, Elvish, and I assume you want Orc as your third.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. And finally, pick 2 skills that you're proficient in. Straight up.
I'm going to do perception so I can do the Legolas. What do you see with your elven eyes? Nonsense.
Of course. All right.
And then
And now we are done with races. Yay, moving on to classwork.
I probably get nature as a proficiency, right?
You can choose that as a ranger, yes. So Meg, moving on to
Do I
barbarian.
get animal handling?
Yeah.
You can grab one of those now. If you want to pick something else, you can later.
Okay.
Let's roll your hit points because that'll be easiest. You start off with 12 plus your constitution modifier. Oh, modifiers. Okay. You don't have that in front of you. So what's your strength score right now?
18.
18, that is a +4 modifier. So in the bubble, put +4 or vice versa. What's your
Okay.
next score?
My dex is 16.
That's +3.
My constitution is 15.
That's +2.
Intelligence is 12.
1,
Wisdom is 15.
2,
Charisma is 17.
3.
Nice.
So with your +2 Constitution modifier, you start at first level with 14 hit points, which I think is more than anyone ever got to.
Wait, are we first level? Alicia kept saying
No,
that we were starting
no.
at third.
You guys are
level.
starting
Okay.
at third, so don't
Oh.
worry. If we started off at first level, you would have 14 hit points. Now I'm going to need you to roll 2d12, and we're going to be adding 4.
I got a 5 and a 4.
Ooh, 9 + 4 is 13, so that's 27 hit points.
I feel like that wasn't a very good roll.
It could have been better, but it's not
Yeah.
terrible.
Where is my
And
hit
besides, you're a barbarian. You rage. It's
What did
what
you say it was? I'm sorry.
What's
27.
happening?
Well, now I feel like you're just trying to confuse me. Just throwing random math up on the screen.
Barbarians, level 3. All right. Your proficiency bonus is 2. Okay. You have the ability to rage, which in battle you fight with primal ferocity. On your turn, you enter rage as a bonus action. So if you plan to do multiple attacks, you're going to have to keep that in mind. But if you're just using like a single giant weapon to attack with, it's not going to be a problem for you ever. So it's a bonus action to enter a rage. And while raging, you have advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. When making melee weapon attacks, you get to add a bonus, and your bonus damage is 2. And you would put that under attacks and spellcasting. I would just put +2 while raging, just somewhere in that giant white space there. That way, you know, I'm raging, I'm going to be doing a metric ton of damage.
Is there a limit to how many times I can rage without
Yes.
sleeping?
Once you rage a number of times shown for your barbarian level. Oh, you get 3 rages you can do per day. So that's the number. And your rage can last 1 minute. That doesn't matter as much. And you have to deal damage or be dealt damage every turn to maintain your rage. So yay, you get to tear things apart. Huzzah!
Nice.
Your armor proficiencies, which is lower left-hand corner, whenever you're ready.
Ready?
Okay. You're proficient in
Wait,
light
that's
armor.
where my language is supposed to go. The common and Sylvan.
Right.
Okay.
You're proficient in light armor, medium armor, and shields. So you can be a tiny pixie that holds a coaster as a shield and be perfectly happy.
Nice.
Your weapons, you're proficient with all weapons. No worries. You are not proficient in any tools because from your class, your background might give you those options. Your saving throws, that first group of bubbles above your skills, you're proficient in strength saving throws and constitution saving throws.
Okay.
And for skills, you get to pick 2 skills. What do you think your character would be good at just from looking at the list?
Based on my, oh, that's not good. I wanted to pick nature, but that's an intelligence one, and that's my lowest one.
It happens. It's fine. Better proficient than not.
All right. I think it would be nature and athletics.
Perfect. Go with those 2.
Okay.
Now, for your equipment, tell me the weapon you want to use.
So I like the idea that my character made a bow and arrow out of like, I was originally thinking like twigs and spider webs, but that would only be if I was about like 6 inches high. And you said like that I would take up a little bit more space than that. So I don't know.
Oh, you're technically small for the size category, but I have no problem with you imagining your character being 6 inches tall. No
Okay.
problem.
So I make a bow and arrow out of twigs and spider webs, and I've gotten really good at shooting like little twigs and push pins and toothpicks directly up people's noses, like into their brains.
Hold on, I want to make sure that melee. Okay, just so you know, your raged bonus damage only applies to melee weapons. I do like the bow attack, so you can definitely have a bow. I believe. Yeah, we can get you a bow instead of like the hand axe or a simple weapon. But what like melee weapon do you actually intend to use as a barbarian?
Okay.
If you want to do the more bow-centric combat,
I'm okay with having like I like the idea of having like a sword or a knife, like some more thing like that. My friend came up with the idea when I was talking about it, is like, you know, those little swords that you get as like cocktail things when olives on them, like if you order a martini or something. If I have like one of those, but it's made out of metal, not plastic. So it's like perfect size for me and like as like a pirate sword, but to everyone else, it's very little.
I love that. Why not? So you have a
cocktail sword.
Cocktail sword. Do you want that to be like a 2-handed cocktail sword? More of a butter knife? Or do you want it to be like more like a rapier size one?
More like a rapier. Like I'm very nimble with it.
Alrighty then. Hold on. If you do that, you can actually use the shield then. So that would be beneficial.
Oh, nice. I like that idea. Then I will also have a shield. That could be a cocktail sword. And as you pointed out, I could have a coaster or a cocktail sword. And then as you pointed out, a coaster as my shield.
Yay.
Playing right into that, I had an idea and I don't know if you would go along with it, but I thought it'd be funny if, so when my creature like ventured out into the world is when they realized like alcohol's a thing and became like a little bit of an alcoholic. So I have like a flask made out of a little walnut shell. Really, it only takes like a sip for me to feel tipsy. And when that happens, I think it'd be funny that like if I'm drunk, it's either like I like lose a thing of like a point in dexterity, but I like gain it in charisma because I'm like happier or something at that point, or vice versa with like strength, something like that.
Okay, that sounds hilarious. We'll have to cover that whenever we get to your character drinking at the bar. So, for your weapon, because you're going with this more one-handed weaponry, go ahead and put longsword. And no, it's a skewer for the rest of the world, but it's a longsword.
Kim also mentioned using shield smash.
Oh yeah, you can break someone's teeth with that wooden coaster of yours.
Nice.
So longsword, it would deal 1d8 damage with one hand. And you would add your strength modifier, so +4 to damage if you... So it's 1d8 +4 if you hit. And ability to hit would be your strength modifier plus your proficiency bonus. And I believe that's +6.
You said it was my strength proficiency plus my what?
Your strength plus proficiency bonus.
So 6.
Okay, that is your attack. So +6 to hit, and you deal 1d8 plus 4 damage if you do hit. Or 1d8 plus 6 if you're raging. Great.
6 to hit, 1d8 plus 4 for damage, 1d8 plus 6 if raging.
And let me look up the bow because that matters. Doop, doop, doo, doop, 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 doo.
Michael says, when things get ugly, take out the steak knife.
Thanks. You have a short bow, which deals 1d6 damage. And it uses dex instead of strength. So what's your dexterity modifier?
+3.
+3. So it would be 1d6 plus 3, and it would be +5 instead of +6. You're more muscly than wily. I believe is how that goes.
Wily or wiry?
Good question. And because you have a decent dex and con, you may want to be unarmored as opposed to wearing something like hide or something along those lines. And having an unarmored defense, it basically means your muscles and your straight rage is your armor. Your armor class is equal to 10 plus your dex modifier plus constitution modifier plus 2 because you have a shield.
So 13, 15, 17.
You have a 17 armor class.
Okay, so down here, can I take out the light armor, medium armor, or should I just leave that all there?
Leave that just in case you do find some magical pixie-sized armor you want to don. It could happen. Someone decided to make an enchanted doll armor, and you decided to put it on.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
So your armor class is 17. You also can recklessly attack. So that would be under class features or whatever. Basically, if you ever just want something to die, you can just be like, I want advantage to hit him. And you do. But everyone has advantage to hit you then.
Okay.
So keep that in mind.
Advantage to hit the target, but everyone else, or not else, just everyone gets advantage
against you
to hit me.
You also get your primal path, which you chose to be a honey badger barbarian.
Yes.
You can use bee sense and speak with animals.
So wait, is this going back under features and traits? So it's called bee sense?
Beast or bees?
Beast, B-E-A-S-T, sense. So you can detect various animals around you. And you can speak with animals. Being a fairy person, you've grown used to talking with these creatures.
Sure. That fits into my backstory too.
And as a totem spirit, when you fly into a rage, you become resistant to all damage, not just bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing, except for psychic damage. Attacking your mind is problematic. You don't mind anything else. Fire, bleh, you've been.
It's a scary place in there anyways. You don't really want to go in there.
So those are your features. When you rage, you deal bonus damage. You basically take half as much damage, and you just break things really, really well. And you apparently use a steel little skewer and a coaster, and you're ready to go. Lovely. John.
Yes.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick while you guys do John.
Yeah, that's fine. John, you're playing a rogue.
Yep.
Switching over to the right place. Now you start off with 6 plus your Constitution modifier. Did you notate the modifiers earlier, or do we need to go through those?
No, I have the modifiers in already. I have 1 for my modifiers for strength is a 1, dex is a 4, con is a 2, intelligence a 2, wisdom 3, charisma 1.
Okay, so you start off at first level with 8 hit points. Can you roll me 2 separate d6, and then we'll add 4.
2d6. So 7.
For both of them, or, well, yeah, of course. Okay, so that is a 19 hit points.
19 hit points. Got it.
You are proficient in light armor. That is it.
Yep.
Simple weapons, hand crossbows, hand crossbows, rapiers, in all bows and swords, so you're fine there. And you're also proficient in thieves' tools.
Yep.
Yes, you have to be able to break into a car.
Love it.
Your saving throws, you have dex and intelligence, which are those numbers above your skills.
Yep.
And knowing your character, which 4 things do you think you'd be good at?
So I'm going to do deception, perception, sleight of hand, and stealth.
Perfect. Now, in your equipment, do you want a short sword or a rapier?
Rapier.
Of course. Thank you for not batting an eye. A rapier deals 1d8 damage, and you add your dexterity modifier.
Yep.
And your bonus to hit is 2 plus your dex modifier, so it's also plus 6.
Okay.
And for your ranged weapon, do you want a short bow or another short sword?
Short bow.
Okay. And that also is 1d6, same modifiers as the rapier.
Okay.
You guys also get a backpack worth of equipment, but we'll talk about that stuff in a bit. You get leather armor, which is 11 plus dexterity modifier. So your armor class is 15,
Good.
I believe. Is your dex modifier 4 or 5?
Yeah, my armor class is 14.
Well, with leather armor, it should be 1 higher than that, right?
Oh, okay.
What's your
All right.
dex score again?
4.
4? So yeah, so 11 plus 4 is 15. So that's what it should be. What else is going on? You start off with expertise. So choose 2 of your skills, or 1 skill and 1 or your thieves' tools. So pick out of thieves' tools and the 4 skills you've picked so far, pick 2 of them that you want to be really, really good at.
I'll do sleight of hand and stealth.
Okay. Your proficiency bonus for those 2 skills are doubled. Just put an additional dot next to those so that you know that you're adding double the proficiency bonus for that nonsense.
Got it.
So for stealth, you get what? 4 plus, you get plus 8 to stealth.
Yeah, stealth and sleight of hand are both plus 8.
You're disgusting. So,
Love it.
man. Okay, your sneak attack. At 3rd level, you do an additional 2d6 points of damage, which you would just put like under on attacks and spellcasting, that just white block. Just put 2d6 sneak attack there. And anytime you're attacking someone that the barbarian's attacking, you get to add that damage.
Right.
Or if they are unaware, or if you have advantage on the attack, you also get that damage. There is no reason why you shouldn't be getting that damage unless you're just being crazy.
But it's only once per attack, right? Like even if he
only
has-
once per turn. So
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So like if you have 2 daggers, you're like choo choo, only one of the daggers gets it.
I have a rapier.
right.
Of course
You
you
also
do.
get thieves can't, because thieves do speak in a different tongue.
Yep.
Um,
Just takes a long time. I read about this. It takes much longer to speak that way than it would normally to have a conversation. So it does take a long time.
That's true, but it's actually very beneficial in the Barrows, since half of all business dealings are done in that. So
Right. Awesome.
you'll be fine.
Pippin knew thieves can't.
I'm very sorry.
Yeah, Pippin's dead.
I know.
You also have cunning action. So unlike the rest of the plebeians around you, you can use the dash, disengage, or hide action as a bonus action. So if you want to just be like, I'm tired of watching these people kill themselves, I'm just gonna leave, you can as a bonus action.
Okay.
Our camera has
Evan's here.
What was that?
And Evan's here.
Hi,
There.
Evan.
We're doing character creation. It's
I don't understand why
not the most interesting, but it works.
our camera can't focus. It like keeps. Maybe it's because we're like sitting too far apart.
Pushing
Maybe.
two, yeah, it's 2 of you, so it's probably struggling to pick who.
Yep.
who wants some focus.
Now you wanted to go assassin.
Correct.
Okay. So at 3rd level, you gain proficiency in the disguise kit and the poisoner's kit as well. So in addition to the thieves' tools, you can poison people or be a master of disguise and
You're
put on
not
a turtle
making any
costume.
of the food.
Well, maybe I'm making all of them.
Evan says you make everything interesting, Caleb. Don't downplay. And Walter says it might also be that you are backlit.
That's very true.
Good call.
I normally have the light over there to offset it.
Yeah, and it is what it is.
It's Jesus coming in through the windows.
Truth.
Oh.
So, so you're proficient in those 2 things, and starting at 3rd level, you are deadliest when you get the drop on the enemy. You have advantage on attack rolls against any creature that hasn't taken their turn yet in combat. So if you go first or just go before anything, you have advantage. And if you hit, in addition, any hit you score against a creature that is surprised is a critical hit.
Nice.
Okay, so what that means, because this will come up, if you get the drop on a bad guy or a good guy, because I've met you all, and you hit him with a sneak attack, you would be rolling 4d6 for just sneak attack damage.
Plus damage. Plus range.
Your critical weapon damage, which would be 2d8 plus 4. So you can be utterly disgusting with damage if you get the drop on them.
God, where's that mayor at now? Oh, she's down the well.
You already killed her.
You killed a lot more than just the mayor.
I also really appreciate the fact that we went from an entire party of spellcasters to an entire party of martial players.
There's ruthless killers now. I love it.
Take them down.
Oh, this is going to
Although I have spells.
great.
I have a few spells, not a lot.
All right. And fortunately, that is it for John. We went through all of that real quick. Now moving on to the ranger.
I've got some range.
Thanks. Can you hand me the It might be behind you.
What are you looking for?
Tasha's. Tasha.
No, I put it back on the shelf last week.
I thought you did too. In my there it is. It was right where it should be.
I don't mess with your system.
That is why.
If anybody wants to know, this entire bookshelf is just full of D&D books and nonsense. All of it.
I don't have a problem. So
There's also a armoire over there that has miniatures and things in it too.
So, great. You wanted to be a Beastmaster Ranger.
With the primal beast from Tasha's.
Yes.
Because
Well,
it gives
it's
it better.
going to be a primal beast, so don't worry about it. So, first things first, a ranger has D10 hit points. So what's your constitution modifier?
3.
3. So you start off with 13 hit points and now roll 2d10.
What shape is D10 again?
D10 is like the weird gemstone looking one.
D8.
This
This one, right?
Yes.
So do 2d10, you said?
Yep.
9 and a 10.
What?
A 9 and a 10.
That's a 1 on that dice, love. The double zeros would be a 10.
Well, that's confusing.
Welcome to my world. So you... So 29 hit points.
I like that I have more hit points than the barbarian.
Hey, you rolled
A ranger
reasonable.
of the night can call upon sisters Christian for +3 hit points. That's Evan.
Is that a prostitution joke?
Yeah, it's Sister Christian. Don't you know the song?
I
Night Ranger. Come on. Sister
So-
Christian, oh, the time has come. He played the drums too. The lead singer played the drums. I got your back, Evan. Don't worry.
Thank you. The joke had to land with one of us, right?
How old is Evan?
I mean, that song's not that old. Stop it. You're just dating me now.
So everyone's proficiency bonus is 2. God. Favorite enemy. Who do you want to be your favorite enemy?
Halflings.
Done.
It makes sense with my backstory. I'm sorry.
Pick halflings and one other.
I get 2.
If you picked humanoids, like halfling, you get 2 instead of like a general feature like fiend or something. So you really dislike halflings and you really dislike
What's in the area?
there's orcs, there's
It would be weird for a half orc to take orc.
UNT.
Are we gonna run into them
There's-
a lot?
UNT are the more like there's lots of goblinoids of all shapes and sizes.
So can I make, excuse me, halflings and goblinoids? And where do I put that?
Halflings and halflings and
Where do I
goblinoid.
put that?
Class features. Favorite enemy. When interacting, you have advantage on wisdom survival checks to track those things down because you hate them for some reason, as well as intelligence checks to recall information about them.
Halfling and I said goblinoids.
Yep. When you gain this feature, you also learn one language of your choice spoken by your favorite enemy, if they speak one at all.
So I guess I learned halfling.
Because halflings, they're the worst, I guess.
Remember in my backstory that halflings work for the elf mother who kills people.
Well, halflings
So-
are terrible. They're halflings in
Halflings also work for the island you're on. The barrows are full of demon halflings.
yes.
How does Michael know that? Michael,
Michael is steeped in Caleb's lore. He's only been playing. Okay, so you know the big event that Caleb alluded to about the gods dying?
oh yeah.
Halfling, Michael and Walt played in the campaign that killed them. They killed the gods in that campaign.
Halflings are bad. I play a goblin from Barrows, says Walter.
Mhm.
We should do like a mix one night where like our campaign runs into their campaign and
I
have
have-
it like
Been petitioning for that since we started.
Walt and Michael, what's up? You guys don't want to play with us? Why have you been petitioning
No.
for so long?
it's me. I've tried to find a reasonable like middle point of where these stories interact, and it just.
And there's also Allie and Nate. So we're talking about organizing a 7-player game.
I would not do a 7-player game. I would do
That
like
sounds rough.
shoe-ins, one and the other.
So
I have player maximums. So
I'm happy to show up and kill a mayor and wreak havoc if anybody needs me.
I appreciate you, John.
Michael says he's all for it.
I know he is. One additional favorite, not to worry. So you got your language, great. Natural explorer, you are particularly familiar with one type of environment. Coast, which is reasonable. Desert, which doesn't make any sense.
No.
Forest, which is jungle. Grasslands, I don't think you've ever seen a grassland. Mountains can be reasonable. Swamp, reasonable.
I'm going to go for...
What is that? I can't.
Everyone is dead. It's just dead people everywhere.
He's dead.
Thanks.
I think I'm going to go for jungle.
Go for it.
So what's that? My natural explorer?
Natural explorer. When you make intelligence or wisdom checks related to your jungle terrain, your proficiency bonus is doubled. Great. So when I make you roll like a nature check to identify the random plant or whatever, you have advantage as long as it's a jungle plant.
Do we
No,
live
not
in the
it's
jungle?
proficiency is double if it's a jungle plant. And difficult terrain in the jungle does not slow your group.
I'm going to have to write this all down later.
Yep. Fortunately, you have
You?
present.
Yeah.
Your group can't become lost except by magical means in the jungle. Man, that is a useful feature, other group. Even when you're engaged in another activity while traveling, such as foraging, you are alert. If you're traveling alone, you can move stealthily at a normal pace. That's fine. You recover twice the amount of food when foraging. Apparently, you're a glutton.
I'm just saying that if we as a group fail a stealth check at this point, somebody needs different dice.
That's fair.
Walt
is
says
that?
that you still can't still can't track him.
When tracking other creatures, you also learn their exact number, their size, and how long they have passed in the area. You are way not too knowledgeable about this stupid.
The jungle is my mother. My home.
Great.
I'm gonna laugh really hard if Caleb just makes the whole campaign take place in like a desert. So you never get to use your dungeon or your jungle knowledge.
I've had a player be like, I want to play this. It's a sea campaign. When are you ever going to be in the desert? It could happen. So now what fighting style do you want? Do you want to be a duelist? Defense? Do you want to shoot things?
I want to shoot things.
You want to shoot things. You get archery.
Where does that go?
That goes under class features. You get +2 bonus to attack rolls when you use ranged weapons. It's very specific, generic, but it's stupid overpowered. So whenever you get your longbow or whatever you're playing to shoot things with, you add +2 to whatever your attack bonus is. Speaking of equipment, do you want scale mail or leather armor?
Leather.
Okay, so your armor class is 11 plus dex.
15.
Okay, armor class 15. I also love the increased armor class of the group as a whole. It'll be nice being like, I rolled an 11. Does that hit? Yeah. Do you want 2 short swords or 2 other simple melee weapons? What weapons do you want?
I thought I was just getting a bow.
You're also getting a bow.
Oh. I didn't think about this. Can I have flails?
What? No. Simple weapons.
Nunchucks.
Nunchucks? You can have 2 clubs and call them nunchucks.
No.
Caleb, you didn't draw your other team's characters?
Well, no, not yet.
Oh. Michael just
I've been-
described his character and it sounds enchanting. I want to see a picture.
Heather Rapta. Okay, in the other group there, my favorite character of the entire rest of the group isn't exactly one of the characters, it's the mount. It's Heather Rapta, which is this like drag queen velociraptor with a feather boa. She's the best.
That's pretty amazing.
That's all I want to draw.
Pretty great.
So
I think you need to draw her.
back to what we were doing.
So I guess,
Here, how about I pull up the
are they still short swords if you like hold them like this way so it like goes down your arm, you like with them?
do you want little tiny kukris kind of
I don't know
thing?
what that is.
Are we
Sickles?
still in the Drakes?
No, you are close to the Drakes. You are in Runner's Rock, which is their neighbor in terms of the islands.
Try and do sickles.
Walt says he is a hairless 8-year-old goblin girl who wears nice silk clothing. Do all of you play women? Michael said his was a pink female tiefling.
They
Pirate
all are
captain.
playing women except for
Wasn't Allie
Nathan.
playing? Oh no, that was her first character who
Yeah.
was the dragonborn that got blown up.
yeah, he got blown to pieces.
I like it. I like that you're female strong.
Yeah, just live.
I really like that our strongest character is the little pixie female. Like, go Meg.
It was also the same thing with the last group. The most powerful character was the little tiny pixie druid, not the hulking dragonborn priest who was like, I have a strength of 10.
I was a dragonborn druid. Half
Not a
dra-
pixie.
I was a cleric.
All right. So anyway, sickles,
1d4.
and I get 2 attacks.
Yep. And they are,
What's my plus to them?
well, let me make sure that they're actually reflex. I know that they're light. I just want to confirm that. You probably want to do daggers
Okay.
because they're finesse weapons.
Okay.
And now you can use your dex modifier. So it's 3, so it's +5 to, what's your dex modifier, just to confirm? 4. Okay, you get +6 to hit with those. And they do 1d4 plus 4.
Yes.
And you can have attack with one and then attack with the other one as a bonus action if you have both of them drawn.
Okay. Do I get to fire my bow twice?
No,
I only get one.
right.
Okay.
You do also have a longbow because of course you do. And your bonus hit with that is 4 plus 2 plus 2. So you get +8 with your attacks with that. And your damage is 1d8 plus 4 because you're disgusting. And spellcasting.
I picked out spells already.
Good. Thank you. You only know 2 spells though. Which 2 did you pick?
I thought I knew more than that.
You might spells. You know 3.
So I picked Cure Wounds because somebody needs that. And it was on the list.
At your character, John?
Yeah.
What you look like?
A little bit.
And then I picked Ensnaring Strike and Hunter's Mark.
Okay. Nice.
What's that look for?
Those are good spells.
Yep, but usually that look is I would have done things differently, but
I would have.
okay.
No, I don't. Why do? You have 3 first level spell slots, so that's something. And you are a beast master who has a companion, and your companion is going to be a feral chicken.
I rescued him. And we have a kinship with one another.
The creature found you
Yes.
when you entered the barrows. Now that we have the characters, oh no, we're still not done. We have backgrounds. Then after backgrounds, then we're done with the character creation aspect.
And we
Love
can
that
do
Evan
like
said my
I
character
also
looks
have a
like he's
creature.
Steampunk K-pop. Perfect.
What's that?
Said that my character looks steampunk K-pop. Perfect.
I support that in all of its forms.
I do as well.
So, Meg, describe your backstory, how you imagine it.
Okay, so my creature, hold on, I typed it all out to you earlier and I feel like that was the most coherent part. Let me just pull that
You
up.
can just read that, that's fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Let's see, I sent it to Caleb and okay, my thoughts for my backstory. My character's name is Thistle. She's a spirit totem barbarian pixie. She comes from a clan that dwells high in the mountains next to a mountain stream. Granted, to them, the stream is like a rushing river based on their size. Based on how high in the mountains they are located and the delicate navigation required to get to their village, no one dares venture there and they do not leave, to the point that their kind is thought of as an almost old wives' tale or folklore. There is legend and tale of the totem warrior barbarian pixies, but no one really knows if they exist or gives it much thought. Daily life in the clan is filled with creatures going into rage, breaking, and then rebuilding things, watching over nature and animals, creatures, and very ritualistic in their beliefs and actions. Based on this, my character is crafty and handy, knows about nature, and is in pursuit of knowledge about history. When a pixie comes of age, there is a ceremony in which their spirit animal is revealed. It is almost always one of a handful of usual creatures. Which animal you get determines your place in society, your job, etc. However, when Thistle comes of age, a honey badger spirit crawls from the flame. No one has seen a badger before, and because of its size, assumes it is a weak creature. She is laughed at and made to do terrible jobs like collect dung for crops, when all she ever wanted to do was be a fierce protector of their land. She knows in her bones she is not weak, so she decides to head off on her own to learn what the badger is, why it chose her, and what her strengths are. So I think the funny way to play that is that I don't actually know it's called a badger, so I just refer to it as the thing. And I would like to know what the thing is. And because of that, from reading it, you get the characteristics of the honey badger like we talked about. So I have silver mohawk, and I can, when I rage, I get as vicious as a honey badger and have those characteristics.
I love that.
Also, I would like to point out that as a pixie, I am yellow, so that when I ride Kevin, my noble steed, who I find, it's like a nice little yellow pixie against the blue frog. Very nice image, I think.
I really like
Yellow
the only
pixie.
things we were really attached to were the animals.
Yeah.
I also came up with how Kevin and I meet, if you think this is okay or if you have a better one. But pretty much as I was leaving the clan one day and stuff like that, and it started to get down to wherever, I was like hunting flies and bugs, trying to like figure things out. And then Kevin was just like getting them. And I thought it was so cool that I tried to do what he did. And then we became buds. And now we're bonded for life.
I like that. There's actually you did do that, probably somewhere in the barrows, just dealing with some nuisances, trying to earn whatever money you wanted or whatever role you were doing in the barrows at that point. And that's where you met Kevin. So the location changed, same thing occurred though.
Perfect. Sounds great.
Just because both
But yeah.
Hey and Kevin traveled with Kai, but we'll get to that.
Lovely. So most of the time I ride on Kevin.
So what did you think you learned growing up in the...
So I think that mostly what we learned all about that particular clan and climate. So I know a lot about the nature of that place, not much outside of it because nobody ever left or came, but we learned all about the animals, how to commune with nature, and then also like building our houses and like very good at construction. I know you said originally I'm not proficient in any tools, so I don't know if we just got really good at doing it with our hands, but the idea that all these like massive little pixies would rage and then clearly break stuff, and then as soon as we calm down, we'd have to rebuild everything.
Well, you get 2 skills from your background. Given how you were describing things, maybe nature, just for knowing how the ecosystem works. And
Okay,
handle
I'm already proficient in nature. Does that
Okay.
matter?
Yes, it does. Do you have handle animal?
No.
Would you like handle animal?
Okay, animal handling.
Yep. And what about acrobatics? Maybe the fairies had a game that they played as a community that required agility.
You guys played Quidditch.
Sure.
Yeah, like fairy Quidditch.
Quidditch. I love that. Also, for those of you that did not catch the fact that I, my spirit animal is a honey badger and I'm completely yellow, is because this is my way to bring my Hufflepuff self into this game. So I am a yellow pixie with the spirit animal of a honey badger in true Hufflepuff fashion.
I love my Hufflepuffs.
Yeah.
Walt says animal handling is essential for anyone hoping to ride.
Yes.
Especially pterodactyls.
I was really torn between the honey badger and the platypus. I went back and forth a bunch, but I decided to go platypus.
And
Alicia, also, I know that we're doing this, but I've gotten like 7 emails about a certain site that launched earlier that someone.
They can wait.
Okay, I was just letting you know that there's been quite a few.
They can wait until Monday, as far as I'm concerned at this point.
So, back to our detoxing game. What tools do you think that you would have learned in your fairy group? You can be proficient in cobblers.
I'm gonna pee. Don't anyone kill all the people. I'll be right back.
You haven't yeeted anyone into a well. So what do you think your tools that you used in the clan were?
I like the idea of being able to cobble.
That was a joke.
I don't know. What are the options here?
There you can basically pick anything. There's anything from alchemy to brewers to calligraphy to carpentry, cooks, leatherworking, glass, masonry, pottery, smithing, wood carving, underwater basket weaving. What do you want? Carving.
I like wood. I mean, I like wood carving and I like pottery. I don't think like if they built clay from the stream and rebuilding stuff, but I don't know how that's going to help my character. Like, what is this for?
Well, these are just things that you're proficient with. So if you got like the potter.
Kim said carpentry.
Well, both of them
carpentry makes sense.
Carpentry is useful because you can use your carpentry tools to like jam a door. Maybe you can use your pottery knowledge to be like, oh, this is a really interesting technique that would require this particular set of knowledge, and you can get some historical data from that. So it all depends on, do you want, pottery would be substantially less practical, but there would be some interesting historical knowledge you could get out of different things. And with wood carving, it would be a lot more practical, less informative.
Carpentry.
Okay. Where
do I put this on the sheet?
Wood carver's tools or carpentry, lower left hand with languages. And you can pick one language of your choice. Given the fact that you're in the Barrows, orc, halfling, goblin languages out the wazoo. Dragonborn are also kind of local, and Yuan Ti, or the snake people.
The snake people.
Yuan Ti. Given the fact that you came from the mountains, that would YUAN -TI. And since you're from the mountains, maybe you picked up Yuan Ti, their language living in the mountains. So that could be fun to play with.
The mountains.
Sounds good.
And what's a trinket that you kept from your village? If you don't know, you can always roll percentile dice if you want something utterly random.
Sure. Let's do that. What do I roll?
Percentile dice or 2d10.
An 8, 2 4s.
Two fours. Thank you. Do. Oh. The random thing is a mechanical canary inside of a gnomish lamp. So how did you steal this contraption from your fairy garden? And where did they get it from?
I don't know. How about instead we do that? One of the things that you're given at that ceremony when your spirit animal is taken is like a wooden necklace pendant type thing that you can, or like a medallion that you wear under your clothes that has that animal carved into it. So I have that, and that's my picture to try and figure out like, what is this and why did it choose me?
I like that a
Because
lot.
that's what they believe. Kind of how the wand chooses the wizard, the animal chooses the spirit. Like you don't get to pick your animal.
And there's like a little bit of unicorn hair in there as well, just in the
No, badger hair.
Badger hair. Okay, that's fair.
You're so funny.
So you have this lovely pendant from your clan that was given you as part of the ceremony, and you're still trying to figure out what this creature is. Now, that is for your background. Go ahead and what's the name of your clan?
Oh, I don't know. Caleb, come up with a cool name.
Potatoes.
Turnips.
Turnips.
Turnips. I'm actually okay with this. Turnips is hilarious.
And my name is Thistle Turnip.
Thistle Turnip. And your background is the turnip background. Turnip clan. John.
Yes.
Your backstory is you were a town guard kind of thing. So what 2 skills do you think you would have picked up as your friendly town guard?
Investigation.
That's fair.
And perception, maybe?
I think you already picked perception.
Yeah, you're right, I did. How about survival?
Oh, that's an interesting one. Okay, so you were more like of a PI. You actually had to like accrue the information, figure out what happened.
Yep.
That's interesting. So yeah, go ahead, grab those 2.
Yeah.
And do you think that would have given you any special proficiencies in tools or vehicles?
I was thinking, I was looking at the book and I was thinking maybe like the cartographers that
Interesting.
could help with mapping and figuring some things out.
All right. Were you a good cop or were you a shady cop?
No, I was good back then.
Okay. So we'll just glaze over the forgery kit.
Yeah.
You already have disguise. You're proficient in everything already. Cartographer. Sure. Given the elves in the local region, you had to do a lot of traversing land in order to navigate to certain locations.
Yep.
And so maybe you did a lot of that work in addition to just being a general guard. Maybe you were just like a regional surveyor on top of that.
Yep.
Interesting. So you're used to working alone, which is really a break whenever you join this merry group of miscreants. Now, do you want another set of tools or would you like a language?
I would like another set of tools.
Which tools are you interested in? You can be, now that you've gone bad cop or in the process of doing that, would you be interested in forgery kits, gambling sets of any kind? Or what are you interested in?
Yeah, I'll do the forgery kit. I like that.
Okay. That'll be interestingly useful. Clearly, this is going to be a very lawful, upstanding, emulate these characters, hoorah campaign.
I like it.
Okay. And because you picked those, you don't get the language then. What did you keep from your old settlement? Or what do you hold on to that reminds you of the past?
I have like a family necklace that was given to me by my parents.
Was your family well-to-do? And did
No,
they
were
lose
very-
status with your...
They were like middle of the road. So nothing crazy, but
Maybe they were the cartographers.
there you go. I like it. That's my backstory.
All right. Alicia, your backstory is odd.
My backstory is verbose.
So what skills do you think you would have picked up being raised by elvish siblings?
That's where I learned to sparkle.
So which charisma-based skills do you want?
Persuasion.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
And pick one more.
Specifically charisma based?
No.
Oh.
Ones that you would have picked up with your family. History, maybe?
Yes, because I have to know the whole family's history.
And it's long, so. All right. What tool proficiencies do you think you would have picked up, if any? You can pick none and pick up 2 other languages. Given the diversity of the family, languages would make sense.
Okay. I can take 2 languages. I don't need tools. I can persuade other people to do my bidding.
You have these tools, so.
Exactly.
No?
Um,
No? Okay.
So, tabaxi.
Okay. Tabaxi.
Because the tabaxi part of the family,
Yes.
guys,
We'll
this
get
gets a
there.
wild
We'll
ride.
get there.
The tabaxi part of the family are the informants.
Right. Okay. So tabaxi.
Can I
Enough.
take thieves' cant?
No.
Oh. I need to consult my backstory.
Well, you have gnomes in your family.
Yeah, but we don't interact with the gnomes because the gnomes are innocent and don't know what's going on.
Dragonborn or Draconic.
Draconic or Elvish? Well, I
You already have
Elvish,
Elvish, so Draconic would make sense next.
but I haven't met the Dragonborns yet.
No, but they're also a fairly locally prevalent race.
Okay.
And what trinket did you keep from the family? Or from your background? Something from your mother or something? Who was a
I have
pirate,
a little,
right?
yes, I have a little doll she made me
Oh, that's adorable.
because I was just such a wee little orkling when she died.
All right.
R.I.P. Pirate Queen.
So,
It's a little pirate one. It has a little hat.
and how are we doing on time? Oh, we're...
We have a half hour.
Oh, good. We're good. We're great. I thought we were really pushing it. So that's fantastic news. So,
Do you have certain alignments in faith? These are the next questions in the D&D Beyond thing.
Yeah, what's my
I was
background
curious if-
then?
your background would be your family name. And John's background would be Elvish Guard.
Yeah, I have mine all filled out. I'm chaotic good.
You sure?
Let's see. I have my personality traits, my ideals, my bonds, my flaws all set up.
Would I be
I was thinking-
neutral?
Yeah, my
We'll see.
personality traits are when I set my mind to something, I follow through no matter what gets in my way. If someone's in trouble, I'm always there to help. Ideals are destiny. Nothing and no one can steer me from my higher calling. My bonds are I protect those who cannot protect themselves. And my flaws are that I'm convinced of the significance of my destiny and blind to my shortcomings and the risk of failure.
My initiative
Awesome.
is my dex modifier, right?
Yes,
And do I not have any saving throw proficiencies?
you do. Do.
I mean, we can fix this later, but
Yeah, let's just grab that real fast. Not that it'll matter.
I mean, they were me and Bully Kid.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
so do you have like a quill and pen and you write angsty poetry?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Have you seen my picture? Of course I do.
Strength depth.
Caleb, please tell me you're going to draw our new characters.
Yes, I'll be drawing your yellow pixie with Kevin.
Will you put him like her, like riding Kevin while holding the cocktail sword?
Yes, I'm like that classic, like Valkyrie with a shield and everything. That's a coaster.
Yeah.
Ah. Speaking of which, you guys have known each other for a little bit.
How did we meet?
You guys have been eating and coming and enjoying the food at this one particular tavern in the Barrows. It's in this.
I discovered how much I love nachos.
Yes, and you don't have to share them because
Yeah.
you're like,
The
I
whole
will eat
plate is
them
mine.
all. You have a
Slowly
shrewd
hold up the chip as
metabolism.
I lick the cheese off. Yes.
But the inn that you all have kind of just grown accustomed to just coming and going, and you guys did a few jobs together. But you guys have often come to this Holy Hops Tavern ran by this goblin named Kai. He recently set up shop here a few months ago, since his old place of work burnt to the ground. Apparently, you haven't had the full story, but he makes some pretty darn good beer that he says are his recipe. Don't look too hard into it.
Filthy little liar.
And
Did we meet at the tavern? Like, is it like Kevin told me to go there and Hey told Alicia to go there and John was just like wandering in the town and that's like where we met at the tavern?
yes, you guys have met over a period of a couple weeks at this tavern, and you guys started doing jobs together as a group. All thanks to the random animals and the pretty darn good food of this goblin tavern. So, you all are in the Holy Hops Tavern, enjoying a meal. Nachos, apparently.
Well, we're not going to have chicken wings.
And go ahead and describe what your characters look like. I know that we've given a cursory idea of what you guys actually are, but what do you guys look
Kim
like?
said your size, you can bathe in nachos, Meg.
Oh my god. I just swim in it.
Her in a jacuzzi, a queso bowl.
Yes. Now we're talking.
So my character has lightly green skin and tiny tusks. They're very elegant looking tusks. They're perfectly proportioned to his perfectly symmetrical face. And he has black hair that he keeps back in a ponytail, pointed ears like an elf, and basically looks like a hero from an anime, but a girl's anime. He's a Bishonen. So if anyone has seen, which I know Kim has, or on High School Host Club, he is a lot like Tamaki, but with dark hair and a ponytail. But he's kind of modeled personality-wise after Tamaki. So.
And Hey is sitting next to you, also just being an angsty little chicken, wanting the vengeance of its past owner's death.
Yes.
John, what do you look like? And, oh, what are you eating? Real quick before she's eating nachos.
I'm eating noodles,
Oh, nice.
chopsticks
John.
that I can catch flies out of the air with.
You all like flies a lot.
What?
You all are really liking flies a lot.
I catch them and then I hand them to Kevin. Or the Thistle.
Thistle. I will crush them up and add them as seasoning on top of my nachos.
Great. You're disgusting. I love it. So, John, what's your character's name?
It's right here on the screen. It is Grigor Fancepants.
Fancepants. Can I just refer to you all the time as, hey, Pants?
Yeah, it makes him very angry. He does not want to be called Fancy Pants.
I didn't say fancy pants. I just said pants.
Pong.
Pawns.
Guys, I'm going to have to change my name from Pippin and Hey Hey to Sempai and Hey Hey and go through the annoying thing of changing your name on Twitch.
Gotta do it.
Oh, yeah. Mine is like Mare Slayer or something.
Yeah. Well, mine's Mayor Killer, and well, that happened. So,
You had to put that out in the universe, John.
well, yep, it happened.
So, describe what he looks like.
He looks somewhat like this Twilight-ish, K-pop-ish elf man here. A little steampunk edge, as Evan noted. Yeah, something like that.
Wearing his tight leathers that are just mildly too small.
Yeah. It's a little too small. I like it. Yeah.
Really tight jeans.
Skinny jeans. Yep. Has his elf hair in a man bun so you can see his ears.
I bloody love this guy.
By the way, I have a like.
Is he also blonde? Like
Yeah.
it's dark white.
Yeah, of course.
Man, that's
Draco,
so...
half Draco Malfoy?
Well, yeah, I like that. There you go. Yeah.
Any tattoos or distinguishing characteristics to give him that full-on edgelord?
Yeah, I mean, he probably has a tramp stamp on his back. We'll get into that.
I love this. And what is he eating?
He is eating a pie that Kai said he got the recipe from his old tavern.
Can I ask with or without the Draco attitude?
No Draco attitude. Nope. Unless you call him Fancy Pants. Then everyone dies.
My father will hear about this.
He blacks out and everyone dies.
All right. And not Gully.
Thistle. Although Walt said that I should have the surname first and instead be Turnip Thistle instead of Thistle Turnip.
I like it.
I don't know what matters more if I would have introduced myself, but as such, I said I should be Thistle from the Turnip clan, first of her name.
I love that. Do that.
Okay. So I am different shades of yellow and orange all over, like as in like my body is yellow and my wings have yellow and orange and stuff like that. It's rather pretty. And then in stark contrast, I have a silver mohawk. And around my neck, it's a leather little cord and then a piece of wood. And that's where the kind of like wood carving on it is the badger. Yeah, but it's like really small. And I try not to show it to people because I'm like secretly ashamed that I got this creature, but I don't know what the creature is yet. So I just call it the thing.
All right.
And then I think I want to have like bright blue eyes so they contrast against my skin.
You have a bright blue what?
Eyes.
Blue eyes. And then I am 6 inches tall and 22 years old. And that's about it.
Sounds good. You guys are enjoying your meal. Just finishing up a recent job clearing out. There was some local fight pits. The fights got a little out of hand, and you guys had to kill off a few of the stray giant rats that they were using. But you guys got paid a really pretty sum for that. You guys were each given 10 golden tiles for that. So that's 10 gold each for completing a job. And you guys are sitting, celebrating, enjoying a job well done of clearing out.
Wait, is it actual gold?
Yes, it's actual
Michael
gold.
says he's in trouble. His character would absolutely call him Fancy Pants, not to be mean or bully him, but it sounds like that.
I know.
That's the point of the problem.
Blind rage. People will die.
So this is great. So
Next Friday, Michael has off. We'll have Dad watch Charlotte. It's fine.
You can come play.
anyway.
I would like to point out that my weakness is nachos. So if we're ever on a mission and there's like a plate of nachos or something, I get very distracted and do not want to continue working.
That is a great weakness. Thank you. But you guys are enjoying a nice after job meal, enjoying your time, when all of a sudden this band of miscreants, you haven't seen these guys before, wander into your tavern. These two orcish seamen, you can tell that they're
They have bulbous heads and tails.
Thanks. Thank you so much.
Sorry.
You tell that they work on a ship because they have like these shorts on and just vests so that they can climb scaffolding and do their jobs without too much material in the way. So you see these two orcs and this hulking creature. This guy must have orc blood in him, but he's clearly an orc, just with something else mixed into his genetics. They walk in. They have the smell of salt water on them, so they probably just got off a boat.
They are seamen.
Dang gubbit.
You should know better at this point.
They seem very arrogant. And as one of the orcs goes up to Kai, like, hey, we're going to be wanting some rooms here. We just commandeered a ship they were planning on selling. It's going to be worth a pretty penny. So we'll take your best room. And the goblin's like, all right, whatever. I'll set you up with the double large. Will that be the double large just for you or for the entire group? It's like, no, we'll get our own rooms. And they start discussing. And one of the two orcs comes up to your table. It's like, oh, these look nice. And actually steals one of the chips from Thistle's plate. So you're not going to be eating all this, right? So I'll just enjoy some of these chips.
I dive headlong over the top of nachos and immediately becomes completely enraged.
I, still holding my bowl of noodles and chopsticks, don't even look at him and say, it is impolite to steal from a lady's plate. You should think twice before taking what's not yours and continue eating.
Please, we can steal a ship. What's stealing a few deals of nachos? Roll initiative.
Smack him with my chopsticks!
We're rolling initiative already? I'm so ready for this. Let's go.
Roll initiative.
16!
I'm gonna
These assholes
destroy
are the
this.
worst.
13.
rolled
I have
a
a plus
1.
4 for initiative.
Correct. You add your dexterity modifier to this.
17.
All of us or just John?
So all of you get to add your dexterity modifier.
Oh,
So-
nice, because I rolled a 1.
Oh, great.
Oh, you're going.
Oh, you're busy
So,
protecting your
I have
chips!
a 4.
Okay. And what did
16.
16? And these, wow, they were not expecting this. They seem like really ready to just draw some more blood. They don't really care. They're on the side of town. No
That's
one's
how we
gonna...
get a boat first game.
Nice. Take to the water.
So, John, you're the quickest.
Yep.
You see that poor Thistle is way too distraught that her nachos were even touched. So she's going the slowest out of the lot of you. But these orcs had their hands on their sword, ready to pull them out and just kill the annoying nuisance in the room. What do you do?
I'm just gonna sneak up quickly and just rapier the shit out of whoever I can reach.
Oh, okay.
Game
You sneak
on.
up behind him. Go ahead and make your attack roll against the poor orc who doesn't realize that you're a threat. The one that stole the nachos, the one that's by the door keeping an eye on a couple of things, or the giant orc who's near the desk trying to get his room.
I'll do the closer one.
The one with the nachos?
Yeah.
Okay. You go up to the nacho guy, make your attack roll with advantage.
I rolled a 13. Oh, so I get to roll twice. All right.
Yep. That's what that means.
All right. 19.
You hit. So because you hit and he hasn't gone yet, it's a critical hit. So go ahead and roll 2d8 plus 4d6 and add 4. This is going to be a very different game.
Oh, wait. Where's the
So Michael said 5 seconds in, fight over nachos. I said a fight worth fighting. Evan said nacho average town watchman. And then there was a round of a few more nacho puns. And then Michael said, dude, it took us a month to get a good boat. If you hijack a boat in the first 5 seconds over nachos, I commend you.
26.
All right, well, now we have to do it. This boat has to be ours.
26.
26 damage?
Yeah.
Okay, so you straight up butcher this creature. So he's like, ha ha ha, nachos. He shoves it in his mouth, and this little tiny rapier comes out the back of his head, through the back of his head, through his mouth, and he goes, it breaks the chip in his hand that was coming towards his lips, and he just collapses. And the orc by the door draws his attention over and goes, Kruth? Oh, shit!
Dead.
What do you do?
I spin and pull out my longbow. Well, I spin, place my bowl down, set my chopsticks on top, pull out my longbow, and shoot at him.
Oh, go for it.
And then also with my bonus action. All right, 12 plus 8. So 20 to hit.
20 will hit the orc by the door.
And I did 10 damage.
Okay, he's still alive.
And then hey for my bonus action is going to fly or run across and get him with his claws.
He attacks his face.
So hey does. So we decided he was a beast of the land, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So 14 plus. Wait, I don't know where his plus is.
Your spell attack modifier. So that is wisdom.
3. So
3,
17.
5. 17?
Yep.
That'll definitely hit.
All right, so he does 1, 2, 8 plus 2 plus proficiency bonus, which is 2.
So 1d8 plus 4.
So 9 damage.
So you quickly turn around, shoot that orc who's like, oh shit! And hey, he's like, oh crap! And a chicken just plows into his skull, knocks it to the ground, and hey, just in a cloud of feathers, rips into this orc, and the orc stops breathing.
I turn back to the table, pick my bowl back up, and continue eating.
This was quick.
So wait, are they both dead already?
Those two orcs are dead. The giant, and by giant I mean he's like 12 feet tall. Closer to 9. He's a 9 foot tall giant orc built with a giant pot belly like an ogre. That creature turns around and goes, guys. And what does the crazy little barbarian do?
So with a mouthful of chips and crumbs just like following out, I yell to Kevin and I say, "We'll ride!" And I jump on his back and we go as far in a barbaric rage right towards the guy's eye with my little cocktail sword and like as fast as I can go. And just chips are just falling out of my mouth as it happens and cheese on my hand.
I really love that with the camera because you were like hitting the camera perfectly.
Ah! Okay, are you attacking recklessly?
Is that what it means when I'm raging?
No. Well, you enter a rage, so that is
Right.
your bonus action. Attacking recklessly gives you advantage. On the
Oh
attack.
yeah, I have it. Advantage to hit target, but everyone gets advantage to hit me. That's fine. Yeah, I'm recklessly gonna destroy this guy.
Okay, skewer the creature to the best of your ability. Make an attack roll. Add your roll twice. Take the higher number.
All right, D20.
Yep, D20
16,
and
17.
17. Yes, you hit. Great.
Lovely. And so then for that, I roll it's a 6 to hit. It's 1d8 plus 4 for damage, 1d8 plus 6 if raging. So 1d8, I got a 7 plus 6, so 13 damage. This guy better have lost that eyeball. I pull it out on my cocktail sword.
Yeah, you like scrape, skewer into like the bone. It nicks his eye. You see him bleeding. He is blinded. You don't have the eyeball on the skewer, but he's like, holy shit! Pulls out this massive tree that he uses as a great club and attempts to kill the thing that just pierced its eye.
Hopefully I don't die 5 seconds in, guys.
Nah, you're fine.
No, you're raging. So he does hit. So he deals 2d8 plus 3.
You have a lot of hit points too, Meg. You're good.
2, 4. So 7 damage, but because you're raging, you take half. So you take 3 damage.
Okay, so I still have 24 hit points.
Yeah. So this guy wallops you with a tree, and you're just like, poof! I'm from the trees. And just shrug it off.
Yeah.
And so back to the top. What does the emo K-pop assassin do?
I am going to sneak back around and try to slit his throat with my rapier. Grab it, pull it over his head, and just get him with it.
All right, go up and make your attack roll. You don't have advantage, but if you do hit, you do get sneak attack because he's distracted by Gully. Not Gully. Thistle.
Thistle.
I rolled a 14.
14? 14 will hit. So, yay. Go ahead and roll damage with sneak attack.
So what do I roll again?
You would roll your 1d8 plus 4, I think, and then you would add 2d6 for your sneak attack.
I rolled 12 total damage.
All right, so your rapier pierces his vertebrae, severs his cord. He just drops to the ground as he just screams and burgles about his eye and mad fairies. And then he dies. Kai then pulls out 3 drinks and goes, "They paid for the rooms though," and gives each of you a free drink.
Lovely. I take a sip of it and immediately like float a little in the air and go, "Ooh!"
Yeah, that's the Holy Hops brew. Made it myself. It's great.
I would love for you to teach me your pie recipe.
But he gladly feeds all of you for free.
Do we get the boat?
Does he take the keys of the? Do we get to take the ship?
He's like, I don't know. You look at their person,
I
trying
search
to
the bodies.
find whatever documentation you can. go ahead and give me an investigation check, which I believe one of you is really proficient in.
17.
Me.
17.
Intelligence.
17 is solid.
6.
6. You
I'm
find
far
John, what
more
did you get?
concerned.
Aren't you like super good at this?
John is. What
Everyone
did,
wants someone to
John
say,
get
I'm the
with
captain now.
Grigor. Grigor. What did you get?
What am I rolling? Sorry.
Investigation.
So investigation.
You get double proficiency and int and everything.
No, investigation, I'm only a +4. So
Oh,
I got
good.
19.
Oh, okay. This is going to be a very different game. The pixie, who's small, goes through the pockets, pulls out all the things that she found, and the investigator looks over them, trying to find anything of note. You do realize that this guy was clearly a half ogre of some kind. And given the rings on his hand, he was probably like a... there's a role that's not captain, but is in charge of the crew.
Quartermaster?
Quartermaster. He's
Can I
probably
take that ring and put it on as a belt and say, I always wanted to sail a ship?
Wow.
You put on the quartermaster ring. There's also the lot of you find two silver. Okay, you what?
I find nothing. I rolled a 6.
Yeah, you're right. You were too distracted by your noodles. And hey, she's just like, F this guy up. Ah! But you do find 2 silver rings, which are very valuable in this particular place. Jewelry is where the money is at. And the 2 silver rings are worth about 10 gold each. So they're nice money you found on this quartermaster. You don't find any paperwork about the boat that they had stolen, but you do find that their ship, you know where they're docked. So maybe if you went onto their boat, you could find out where they were sailing their stolen vessel. But that's for another time. Right now, you're enjoying a free meal. Got some more coin. And you guys are living the life right now.
Nice.
As Kai mops up more blood and says, thanks again for keeping this place clean of your rabble.
Yes.
And that is where we will end our first session 0. You guys killing some random pirates.
Love it.
Nice.
It's going to be a very different game.
So we're heading to
Woohoo.
sea?
No, maybe not. I hope not. You guys are...
We keep throwing monkey wrenches at your plan.
Yes.
Probably.
You guys might get a boat. You guys can progress and try to get the boat. You guys know where their pirate ship is. So maybe you guys will do that next time.
All right. Well, I don't feel like we have many announcements this week. Hopefully the editor will get with it and get some stuff organized and fixed up on things. But yeah.
But I hope that everyone enjoyed the second session 0. The end of last campaign was abrupt, but
and traumatic.
Not
But
for me.
this will be. Thanks,
You just
John.
walked away.
You're just like, I'm just going to cause all these problems and peace.
Someone's at the door. Gotta go, guys.
Gotta go.
Bye.
Someone's at the door. See you later.
I'm much more excited to play this character.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing the kind of anarchy you guys cause.
How you say anarchy?
All right.
It'll be fun. Thank you guys for joining us. And
We hope you
Yeah.
had fun. We'll see you next week. Should be interesting.
Hey, everybody.
Goodbye.
toodaloo.